Welcome to the weekly Wednesday Team Prosperity meeting. We go into direct details that will either help you build your business or recognize the deficiencies in the build out process so you can change those for a more smoother ride, gain the velocity in your business growth that you're looking for. We are into late April here, so we're going to be coming up on the summer months. Remember that no matter what the external public chooses to do, go on vacation, take time off, you control your activity. You control what you bring to the table each and every day. So it doesn't matter whether it's January or December, bring something, bring activity, bring intention, bring energy, intensity into your business, and you'll grow. Last week, you guys, we talked about working smarter. And that really is one of the key things that you have to learn in building a business, building agencies, building distribution. It's not working harder, but working smarter. The key to greater productivity is to work smarter. Like we said, not harder. Working smarter boosts productivity. It boosts creativity. It saves precious energy for the things that really matter in your life. And smart work saves lots of time and allows you to become more organized, which is a lot of people's, one of their main deficiencies. Through smart work, your goals can be reached much, much faster. So what's going on this week? We're going to get right down into something that continuously comes up over and over and over again, and that's procrastination. So procrastination is going to kill your business. It's going to kill your agency growth. It's going to kill your book of business, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish, whether it's professionally or personally, procrastination is going to kill that. So continuing to put stuff off, continuing to ignore activities that you need to do is going to have a direct, immediate, and ongoing ripple effect into your business. So if you think everything can wait until tomorrow, your business, like we said, is going to suffer. It's going to suffer today. It's going to suffer tomorrow. It's going to suffer next week, next month, until the point really it suffers so much that you probably end up giving up and quitting. So, just do it tomorrow is not the motto. It's just do it. So you need to come into each day tiered activity about what's most important and get to work. So you're killing your own business. And when you realize that, it's kind of like taking an axe to a money tree. And you're just chopping that tree down, not for the purpose of harvesting and collecting that money, but for the point of killing the actual tree. So how exactly is procrastination killing your business? So we're going to go through some typical problems and then some solutions on the backside of how to cure that for yourself, your agents, your clients, your partners, whoever it might be. So one of the problems with procrastination is the fact that it creates poor performance. I mean, think about it. If you're constantly procrastinating, what's going to happen to your performance over the intermediate and long term? It's just going to gradually decline. You're going to be a poor performer, not a high performance salesperson or agency builder, but a low performance or poor performance. We always talk about the fact that if you were a publicly traded company and we were to follow you and form a trend line, is that an up line, down line, or a flat line? So poor performance is a downward trend. Follow poor performance for too long, and it's a nail in the coffin in terms of business growth. So the solution to that, if you're facing that type of procrastination problem, give yourself more time to take baby steps. So what does that mean? If you have something that needs to be accomplished and it's too daunting or it's too overwhelming, you got to break that down into smaller compartments, smaller steps that will help you reach that end goal. So once again, if you're looking at something and just staring at something, not being able to get movement on that, break it down. What can I do right now that's going to maybe be a baby step, but it's going to take me in the direction progressing forward to that overall bigger task that I'm trying to accomplish. Another problem with procrastination, it creates roadblocks. So think about what's happening here. If you're constantly procrastinating, everything's getting pushed off, that's creating roadblocks. You're creating roadblocks within yourself in terms of how you're starting to view yourself. You're starting to lose self-confidence. Those promises that you made to yourself, you continually break them. So procrastination, creating those roadblocks, that's a problem. The solution to that is you got to learn how to feed your mind with better thoughts. A little self-encouragement is going to go a long way. Now, you have to be realistic and you have to be honest about what's going on in your business, but also you become what you feed your mind. So, self-development, self-encouragement, positive thoughts, all of these things are what you're supposed to be feeding your mind. But typically what happens is when we procrastinate over long periods of time, we start feeding ourselves negative information into the brain, and that feeds upon itself, and that creates a whole nother image problem. Procrastination is going to create less than a stellar image. And think about this. We talked about this just a minute ago. If you're constantly procrastinating, that image that you portray internally is going to suffer. And then when you start looking at yourself in a way with constant negative feedback, with saying, hey, you can't do this, why didn't you do this, getting down on yourself, that, like it says, it manifests and it feeds on top of itself. So the solution to that part of the procrastination problem is building a team of accountability. Now, if you're the only person right now, then you are the team, but it all starts with you. We always talk about this. If you learn to be accountable to yourself, and then you learn to be accountable to other people, and then create a team or organization based on accountability, a lot of the stuff that we're talking about, the procrastination itself, as well as the byproduct of that procrastination, will solve itself. Another problem with procrastination is it creates a group of unsatisfied clients and partners. If you're constantly telling people that you're going to do stuff and then you don't do it, obviously we talked about that creates a self-confidence crisis within yourself, but it's also going to hurt your outside clients, your outside partners. If they can't count on you, you're not doing the stuff that you're supposed to do, that you told them that you would do. Is any referral business going to come out of that? No. Is any client retention or partner retention going to come out of that? Probably not. Is any good user-generated content online, like testimonials, going to come out of that? No. So procrastination, it creates, like I said, an internal and an external problem. Your external problem is that when people can't count on you, they're going to stop trying to count on you. And that's going to have a cascade effect in terms of revenue, income, partner, client growth. Everything that you're trying to accomplish, you're putting roadblocks in front of. So the solution to that is, put other people first. We're not saying totally ignore yourself and your needs, your goals, your motivation. That's important. But when you start understanding how we help people, what we're trying to do, put those other people's needs first in terms of understanding the mission, why you're doing what you're doing. That will help you with the procrastination. That will help you get stuff done. And that will help you organize your thought patterns and your activity patterns in alignment with what you're trying to do, the mission, the why, helping people. We always talk about, if you get addicted to helping people, the money, the revenue, the income, the growth, it's all going to follow. So you need to learn how to concentrate on impacting the world around you, putting the needs of others ahead of your own. And then another problem with procrastination is, after a while, weeks and months, whatever it is, procrastination is going to create burnout. Because if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, people are losing confidence in you. You're losing confidence in yourself. You're feeding yourself negative information all the time. You're going to burn out. And so you get that poor performance, reduced creativity, the exhaustion, all the things that you look at where you start to dread what you do, not look forward to it, but actually dread it on a daily basis. That creates burnout. And then burnout, you can't work with burnout. You're going to probably drift and quit, start something new. And then we talk about the 12-week year, that emotional cycle of change. And what's going to happen is you never really fixed yourself. So you burn out, go to the next thing, repeat the same exact patterns, burn out there. Then the next thing you know, years and years have passed without you really being able to create anything of value. So the solution to that is you need to learn how to reward yourself. And we always talk about, in the beginning stages of your business, you're not going to have these huge victories. You need to reward yourself for even the small victories, the activity, the intention, the meeting smaller targets or objectives. All of these things, you can't wait to reward yourself by creating a system where you have activity, and you reward yourself for that activity, you can build on that momentum. On the other hand, if you learn how to reward yourself and you didn't get something done and you don't reward yourself, you learn how to reset. So this is very, very important. Don't just go through the process of doing without recognize what's happening. And at those intervals where it's appropriate, reward yourself. Another problem with procrastination is it's going to create fake goals for yourself. If you're not doing that tier 1 activity, the stuff that you know that you need to do, probably the stuff that's most uncomfortable that you don't want to do, then your goals are going to get watered down. Hey, I did do a post on Facebook or LinkedIn, got 2 likes and a comment. Well, that's great. That's not a goal. Yes, that should be part of your activity, but you need to visualize your goals and place them in order of importance. And if the lower tier activity stuff doesn't get done, like a post, but the upper tier does, like the calls, the texts, the emails, the follow-ups, then that's okay. So what you need to do is ask yourself, when you're going into an activity, weigh the pros and cons. Hey, if I don't get this posted on LinkedIn or Facebook today, what's the con of that? If I do get it posted, what's the pro? On the other hand, if I'm making my follow-up calls, if I'm making my meetings, if I'm doing what I'm supposed to do to create that revenue and income, what are the pros and cons of that? And that helps you organize your day, helps you organize your activity, and helps you create, like I said, a tier of activity where you know what has to be done, and the other stuff that you want to get done, if it gets done, great. If it doesn't, you got the most important stuff done. Remember, you guys, procrastination is a leading indicator. It's not really the sin itself. It can be fixed. So think about driving in a car with the GPS. If the GPS is telling you to go one direction to get to your end destination and you continuously go in opposite direction, well, you understand you're never going to reach your end destination. You have to start following the directions to get there. Same thing. Procrastination is telling you, hey, you're going down the wrong street, the wrong route. If you continue to go down here, you're going to end up nowhere. So it's an opportunity for you to see where you're headed and kind of, like in GPS terms, recalculate. So what does that actually mean? Well, it means that you need self-discipline, and self-discipline requires practice. Self-discipline is not something that you just wake up with one day. It's a habit. It's created over time. When we talk about the stuff, like especially at the beginning of the year, like resolutions, those are meaningless because they always, early February, most of them are already done. So what creates is the habit. The self-discipline is created through habits. And then once you have self-discipline, people can count on you. Your self-confidence is going through the roof. Now you're in a position to train, support, coach, mentor, create passive income, the distribution that you want from an online nationwide business. Also, you have to understand that we just talked about this. When you're tiering your activity, you can't schedule that most hated, uncomfortable task for the end of the day because it's going to feel like you're just carrying a rock around all day. You're dreading that. You're pushing it off. And then normally what happens is you push it off to the point where, oh, now it's too late. I'll just do that tomorrow. Oh, tomorrow's Friday. I'll just do that Monday. So you have to have an organized schedule. You have to look at something. You have to accomplish it, get it done. And like I said, when you tier the activity, look at stuff. You're going to know instantly, hey, that's uncomfortable. That means I need to do that first. And also you need to understand that taking your feelings out of the equation. Now, we're not saying become, a person has zero feelings, but when you're looking at your day, you can't feel sorry for yourself. When you're recognizing that you're procrastinating, you can't justify it. You have to understand that things are either A, going to get done, or B, not going to get done. And if it's B, not going to get done, then you got a whole another set of feelings coming your way of regret, of, those unsatisfactory feelings of not being accomplished. And you need to find your motivation. And this goes back to some just very basic 101 stuff. When we talk to our clients and our partners, it's not our job to find a goal, to find a motivating factor, to find a pain point. It's our job to help them realize what they're trying to accomplish and build a pathway to get there. Same thing for yourself. You have to look internally. What is it that you want out of your life? What is it you're trying to accomplish? How does this business fit into it? And then you need to, have your goals, have your vision, and you need to revisit that pretty much daily because, like I said, the tiered activity that's uncomfortable for you, you're going to find the motivation through your goals, through what you want to accomplish. And that's going to give you that ability to put your foot on the accelerator and get this stuff done. Also, you need to avoid and beware of distractions. This is probably one of the hardest things these days because, if I get a text message, well, I could, read that text message. The next thing I know, I'm on an app on my phone, I'm doing something else. So you need to understand, and we're all wired differently. What are the distractions for you? Identify those, realize they're distractions, and find a way to avoid those. If I'm doing something, maybe I don't look at my phone for 30 minutes. So you have to be aware of the distractions. You have to understand them. You have to identify them. You have to be able to, make a plan of action around avoiding these distractions, because part of procrastination is the ability to understand and master time management. And then this is one that might sound a little bit weird, but take more breaks. That doesn't mean like if you're not doing anything, take a break. That means don't sit in a chair for hours and hours and hours at your office, at your home office, and just do something continuously, because that energy, intensity, all the intention that we bring to our work hours, our work cycles, it helps if you break those up. Go at something for a period of time, 30 minutes or an hour, step away 15 minutes or so, come back an hour, step away for 15 minutes. If you need to have something done in the middle of the day, you take your car for service or whatever, understand what your day looks like and understand how to get a schedule around what you need to do, both, for your business and outside your business. And once again, do something, take a break, do something, take a break. Those intervals will help you go back to what we said earlier, create a system where you reward yourself, build on the momentum, or you reset if it's not going well. There's always choices, guys. And we tell our clients this, we tell our partners this. You've always got choices in life. You can do A, B, C, D sometimes, but really in this scenario, you're going to pick your pain. And, the pain of self-regret, it weighs much more than the pain of self-discipline. So if you're not disciplined, it's going to create regret. So you have to understand that self-discipline, it creates the true confidence. Internally, externally, allows you to be able to lead. You've already blazed the pathway. You know what works, what doesn't work. You know how to fix yourself. Now you can work on helping people fix themselves. Self-discipline creates true confidence. And once again, you've got to pick. It's either going to be the pain of self-discipline or the pain of self-regret. Mental toughness is a key in life. And that's really all we have for this week. We just want to talk about something that will help you identify, hey, if things aren't working right in my business, if I don't have the kind of income, revenue levels, partner growth, client growth, look at what you're doing, identify what's wrong, and fix it.